Now, the next function of HRM or Human Resource Manager is employer and employee relations. This refers to the quality of the relationship that exists between employers and employees within the firm. If you have a good relationship, then that's good industrial relations. If you haven't, it's bad industrial relations. Now, why are good industrial relations so important? In other words, what are the effects of good industrial relations? People are motivated to work to the best of their ability. Everybody in the firm is working towards the same objective. Very important is that all departments and all people are working to meet the objective of the overall firm. People are prepared to be flexible at work, so help out others. Problems can be resolved quickly as there are accepted procedures for dealing with disputes. People want the firm to succeed, and as a result, they provide a quality service to the public. And there are good working conditions, and lines of communications are opened and used. I would know 4 of those. However, the effects of poor industrial relations. There is poor motivation and low staff morale. Staff don't concern themselves with the overall success of the firm. People do their own jobs and are reluctant to help others. There are no agreed procedures for solving disputes. Of course, this allows things to fester. Both orders and sales are lost as staff do not cooperate to provide the quality service that customers demand. And industrial disputes and possibly strikes may not be averted. So this is a lose-lose situation. So I would know 4 effects of poor industrial relations. Now, let's talk about labour turnover. This is very important. If we have good industrial relations, labour turnover will be low. So here's your definition. This is the rate at which employees leave a business to be replaced by someone else. So that would be measured by the number of employees who leave divided by the number of employees in the firm multiplied by 100. High labour turnover is caused by poor industrial relations, poor recruitment, i.e. unsuitable staff are hired, poor pay and working conditions, better opportunities elsewhere, and low job satisfaction. Now, human resources manager and industrial relations. So in other words, how can the human resources manager influence industrial relations? HRM ensures discussion and full participation before new policies are introduced. Ensures horizontal and vertical communication is working effectively and efficiently. In other words, that communication up and down from boss to subordinate, from subordinate to boss, and across departments are working well. Ensures grievance procedures are in place to deal with disputes quickly. So grievance, then if you have a grievance, it does fester and it can get worse. So sort it out fast. And human resources manager can build trust between the workers and management. Trade unions also have a role here. Trade unions and industrial relations. Trade unions should ensure agreements made on behalf of workers are kept. They will negotiate on behalf of the workers and train their members in the skills needed to negotiate. They can develop policies for coping with change and keep to agreed negotiating procedures. I would learn 4 of those. Now, here's a question that's come up in the exam. Outline the effects of strikes on the stakeholders of a business. Now, the stakeholders of a business, as you know, is anybody that's affected by the business. So on the business itself, there's a decrease in sales, a decrease in productivity, loss of customers, certainly a loss of reputation, and a loss of profits. On employees, there will be a loss of wages, an increase in job losses, and a decrease in future industrial relations. In other words, industrial relations in the future will be strained. On suppliers, a decrease in sales and delays in being paid. On the government, loss of VAT because the firm is not producing goods, so therefore it's not selling goods. Loss of PAYE, a decrease in corporation tax, an increase in social welfare if people have been laid off, and increased unemployment. So the effects of strike, by and large, are lose-lose. Now, the human resources manager and strike prevention. The human resources manager should ensure employees receive a fair wage, monitor motivation of staff and their needs, communicate across all levels on agreements, In other words, make sure that everybody in the organisation understands the agreements between the firm and the trade unions, or between the firm and the employees if there is no trade union. Have proper and understandable grievance procedures. And as I said before, grievance procedures can fester and it makes things an awful lot worse. Establishes good working relationship with staff. In other words, create a culture of cooperation and ensure staff are happy with working conditions.